Detroit, Detroit, Detroit is different. Detroit is different. Detroit is different. Detroit is different.
Welcome back to the Detroit is Different podcast studios. And we are rocking with somebody that was reaching out like, look, I got to get connected because y'all doing stuff in Detroit, talking about Detroit culture, and I'm here. I'm following, and y'all need to connect to what we working on too. So it was like, okay, we can engage and find out. And these are things that definitely touch the heart, the mind, and the soul of anybody in Detroit. Because when you're talking about being brilliant, when you're talking about being beautiful, and you're talking about connecting that to blackness, I mean, that's all Detroit is about, radiating. And it is a brand that she's picked up from her late husband and carrying on that legacy and so much more into the story of why it stands tall and why it is something that's connected to the people. So with that being said, Tiara Jones, how are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me today.
Oh, nothing. You are helping me on a Sunday conversation. Conversation. And you got the content going too. You got a creator in studio.
I do. She's definitely been a godsend. Jess, it's so funny what life can kind of bring you, and you don't know who paths you're going to cross. And we go way back.
Okay.
We go back to our church days when I was wearing the slip and slides at Christian Fellowship. So
okay.
She was definitely one of the ones I looked up to, like I looked to as a sister. So in this tragedy, I'm glad that, it brought me back to her, and, she's helping me along this journey, giving me pointers, being that sound advice that I need, kind of picking me up when I'm down. So I'm definitely grateful.
God bless.
Yes.
God bless. So we start these journeys always with the roots of the family.
Yes.
Yo peoples, how many generations deep are yo peoples to the city of Detroit?
Woo, I want to say with the loss, about 3 generations.
Okay, so 3 generations. Whereabouts y'all coming?
So it's so funny. So my late husband, he originated from Detroit.
Okay, so he from here.
He's from Detroit.
The crib.
He from the crib.
Okay.
And I'm coming from Inkster.
Okay.
Yes.
Inkster, that's down the street.
I'm down the street around the block. So
that is down the street.
Definitely that. But, when I met him, it was actually back in like COVID days. We locked in the house. Ain't much to do. And I, hop on this app called Bumble. And I'm like, you know what, God, let me get this one more go. I'm going to see, what life can possibly bring me. Mm-hmm. And I came across his profile, and I'm going to be honest, I kind of paused when I seen it. I thought about it. I was intentional. I prayed. I asked God to show me that direction, and we connected, and we was rocking ever since.
Okay, we going to get back to that. I'm going to put a pin in that, but we still got to go a little bit back further than Inkster. Whereabouts the roots before? What brought them up this way to the Detroit area, yo peoples?
Yeah, so, for my people, I originate from my granddad, his side of the family. He came from a small city called Beloit, Alabama.
Beloit, Alabama. Where you ever been down there?
I have not, but It's so funny. I lived in Arkansas, though.
Okay.
My husband, but... Now, my grandfather roots, he is from literally the South, deep down in the South.
Mm-hmm.
My grandmother, her roots, she was actually up here in Detroit. That's where she's from. So that's kind of how they met. He came up here actually on a strength of, he had to do a run. Family was going through a lot down there. His father, I believe, was a union man. So you already know what that looked like in the South. Very outspoken. Not ideal for the black man in the South. And they targeted their family. And unfortunately, he lost his father to a lynching.
Well, that story, first off, extremely tragic.
Yeah.
And it's led to so many people making their way up to Detroit, and not just Detroit, but a lot of that great migration that we think of black people.
Exactly.
And as I always uplift, so many folks from Alabama in Detroit and Georgia, because those lines usually go along the lines of the railways.
Yes.
Arkansas, a little bit further west, maybe like Chicago and things like that.
Right.
But even as you speak about that, like we think of, the great Jimmy Boggs of the Boggs Center. I mean, Mayor Coleman Young. I mean, so many stories of people that in the night got to leave at times, maybe not even say anything. sneaking in the back of like somebody's trunk of a car.
Yes, we hear it.
And also, like you may have been the Smiths down there, but just due to staying safe, you came up to Detroit, and now you're the Jacksons. You know what I'm saying? It's for real.
That's exactly. Yeah, that's kind of how the story went too. They left at night. And actually, they came up here. They had a house, and I want to say the house was in Ecorse. That's where they came. So that's kind of the backstory.
Was downriver. Y'all was downriver the whole grip.
Yes.
Okay.
So they spread out. They stayed downriver, but he came Inkster, with my grandmother.
Okay.
And as far as my husband, his roots, his mother originated from Arkansas.
Okay.
So that's how we tie that South back into each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So in this, we gonna get to the husband story of what you know and everything.
Right.
But we still gotta stay a little bit kind of with you in the roots of Inkster in that neighborhood. Like right now, it's I would say like shout out to Skrill and everybody else really working to preserve Malcolm X's home. I think that is an initiative that's something that will be a grounds of something fertile moving forward for many people to tie into and just really see that relationship that has long existed between Inkster and Detroit and just this whole area, really downriver in Detroit. Even that, like, as they say, Southwest Black Detroit. Because it's Black folks in Southwest Detroit.
They still there.
Yeah, many. Some of my favorite folks is out that way. But what do you remember about that neighborhood? What blocks? What was that neighborhood for you coming up?
Wow. So when I was coming up, I'm on the Notre Dame block, and it was so heavily just community. Us just being a family. Like, I remember coming up, having friends, just having that second family next door, just enjoying my life as a kid. And to see it now, it has changed so drastically. It's like in a sense we kind of lost that, along the way. A lot of the old heads, I say, died off. Houses now, becoming homeowners. Now we're renters. Now people are just like staying those short amount of times and not really kind of rooting and just investing in that city. So it's definitely a change. Looking to hopefully bring that back to what I was used to. That family, having just that access, the resources, everything, that we were privileged to, I feel like, as a kid,
Yeah, in Inkster, like many other cities throughout the state of Michigan, smaller populations than we would expect of like a Detroit, but still a lot of people, a lot of families that go there, legacies that go back, but have dealt with some of the challenges that many of the deindustrialization, I think, of America have impacted. When I think of, and I'm literally a bridge away from Highland Park, and I think running concurrent with like an Inkster, like what Highland Park deals with, and also what's even being poured into. So I tell people, check the Portia Powell interview, as she is leading One Detroit Credit Union, and that will be one of the first financial institutions opening in Inkster. It's the only financial institution in Highland Park, and just like opportunities being created like that, as even things as fundamental as that, in schools and other systems and how they function, have dealt with a lot of challenges. Some definitely, I would say, is some responsibility for people in leadership, but also when we think of the resources of the county, the state, and even the federal government watching what's happened to these communities, especially being predominantly Black, like a Benton Harbor as well. These are things to pay attention to.
They are. I feel like sometimes as people, we're not always paying attention to that. I feel like our attention is everywhere else but what it needs to be on. And that's, I feel like, bringing that community back, strengthening it back, taking that accountability, being able to start somewhere. So.
Yeah. And you talk about being in this neighborhood, definitely connected to work, your grandfather getting there.
Yes.
So I'm guessing most of your life, your parents, were they working with the industry too? What was that like, just as far as the household coming up, what you saw every day?
So my household, it was my mother, myself, my grandmother, and my grandfather on her side. So 3 adults in one house. You can go figure that, right? But me coming up, my mother, she worked for the airline industry. So it was taking a lot from the house. She was always at work, trying to provide. So it left me a lot of time with her parents and all the things they instilled in me, showing me the way, teaching me different things. So that's like the base of my life. Just a lot of wisdom, just dropping gems on me every day.
And definitely as I think people know this. I've said it before. This is my grandmother's bedroom. So I was one of those kids that certainly grew up with a lot of the time being, I guess, babysat or just kicking it with my grandmas.
Yep.
And I think some stuff when that happens, you have like older sensibilities and everything.
Look.
So like, my sister was watching like Bold and the Beautiful.
Why was I watching that though? I was watching that with my grandmother. It would be 1 o'clock, Bold and the Beautiful. And then, what is that? 2 p.m. as the world turns. Look, I was with her.
got 6-year-olds like, I got to watch my stories.
Look.
Like, what are you talking about?
Look, I was invested. Like, that was my time. Like, Grandma, turn it on. We about to miss it. So
definitely. And other than that, what were some of the other sensibilities? Because sometimes it's like foods, shows, music, all types of stuff. What are some of those things that just kind of culturally stand out? You think that were the differences you notice, like when you start kicking in with your friends, and it's like, okay, I guess it's different because I'm like up a generation,
Man, it was the music that was heavy for me. And I have to thank my mom for that. She influenced my music selection heavily. So I was the kid listening to music from the 70s and 80s. You couldn't tell me nothing. To this day, I'll still bang the Gap Band, Cameo, you name it, till like they just put these jams out over 30-year-old music. But to me, it just is timeless. It will just never lose its quality.
Okay.
So for me coming up, it was definitely a difference, my friends. I love the 90s, don't get me wrong, but it's nothing like a little Earth, Wind, and Fire. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like
definitely rock with that. Y'all
they
playing
Destiny's Child.
I'm like, you got to hear this Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Look, straight jam. So that was a difference.
I'm saying Survivor Beyonce.
Look,
that's Gloria Gaynor.
Look, they don't know. They don't know. I take you even back to the Bee Gees. So it's like,
oh man,
look, I got some jams on this playlist.
Yo, hey, I don't know like who or what, but yeah, it's like the Bee Gees got a lot of black fans in that.
Look.
Like that was like if you got parents or like black people in the if they was I guess like in their late teens or 20s during like Saturday Night Fever era, like black people be listening to the Bee Gees.
Look, it was a thing. Or Casey and the Sunshine Band. Like those were all like classic, and still for me they are still classic. So I still play them to this day.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. You know what I'm saying? Started watching that, what's the Nick at Night back in the day?
Look, I used to watch that
weird
too.
old TV
what was
shows.
That? The Twilight Zone. Look, Tales from the Crypt. All that good stuff. So
all this other stuff.
Yes.
It's like, what is going on here?
So I have to thank them for heavily influencing, music and movies and just kind of like my outlook on life, just period.
Okay. All right, so for you, school, what were you into? What was the thought process, young Tiara? What was your, all right, this is what I want to do?
Young Tiara, ooh, child, let me think back. You know what? I was heavily into sports.
Okay.
Sports was a thing for me.
What did you play?
I played basketball, played softball. I tried to run a little cross country. It wasn't for me, but I tried it.
Now, it's two things about cross country in Michigan. Not only is it cross country, but it's also cross country when it's cold as hell.
Look.
Because the cross country season is like, as a person that like I am Tuesdays, Sundays, I gotta get to a track. If that's happening, I'm there. And it's one of those things where, it'll be like no snow on the ground. It'll look crisp. Then you get out there and you hit the stride. It's like if you don't got the right focus, it's like your fingers start getting cold. Then your toes start getting cold. And then stuff that you didn't even know could get cold. And it's like, what is going on?
And before you're going to talk yourself right on out.
Yeah, you'd be like, hey, this ain't the sport for me.
But yeah, I love sports. Sports was heavy.
Okay.
My mom, she was heavy in sports. So was my father. So it was just a natural thing for me to pick up on sports. Definitely that was me. Like I said, just as far as I was kind of like the class clown, I'm not going to lie. The goofy one, that was kind of me in school. So that's kind of the basis of me, I did like to learn. That was always me too. I always love to learn. I feel like there's never nothing new that you can't learn.
All right, and you mentioned basketball, which is my favorite sport. Shout out
Is
to
it?
Curtis Blow. What position you play? Because that's the other thing. You was like, usually you think hoopers, it's like they're gonna be a certain height and everything. What position?
So I'm a shorty, so I was the 1 and 2. You already know.
Hey, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like we looking at the NBA Finals right now. It's recorded back in time.
Look.
But it's like, hey, it's a short man that's looking like he may bring it home. But yeah, so okay.
Yeah, I stayed in my lane. Yeah, I was 1 and 2.
And then what era in high school? And the reason I asked, because this is another thing about high school basketball in Michigan. For the longest, that was, some people liked this, some people didn't. But the season of girls basketball in Michigan is a lot different than other states. So it impacted the possibility of like the LeBron James of Michigan playing the LeBron James of like Tennessee or something. And some people liked it, some people didn't. Right. And that's why like some of those things have somewhat shifted as far as like interleague play and AAU, so many differences now. But I definitely know that was a discussion where I graduated 2001 and I started at King High School, which was like that was like an institution of girls basketball with Coach Winfield, my health teacher that used to give headaches, but an institution, like one after the other, after the other, after the other.
Right.
But now it's like other ways. I know Renaissance is really good now and all that stuff. But like I say, I love basketball. Right. What era were you in that time when it was just still kind of shifted, or did you get to play out of state a little bit, or all here?
Look, I was in that same era as you, so I'm 2 years behind you. I came out 03.
Okay.
So yeah, when I was playing ball, it wasn't big institutions for me. So I came from small backgrounds, like my high school Academy for Business and Technology. Okay. I was there for a couple years, and then I transferred to Henry Ford Academy. So very small environments for me. You know, not like the Cavs or the Renaissance or King, nothing like that, but it was small. So I didn't get a chance to play out of state, nothing like that.
All right, and then also with that and out of state, I didn't ask, which I should have came right after when you said your mom worked for airlines. I mean, that means you're probably traveling a lot when you're younger and got to go to a lot of places. What was one of those first trips you went on that you remember and kind of stand out as so many people speak to travel being something that can truly assist a child in growing and learning so much just when you're younger?
So one thing my mom was big on was traveling. She wanted to make sure I could see the world. So one trip I remember young, I want to say between like 3 or 4, first trip was to Atlanta, Georgia, believe it or not.
Okay.
I remember that, just being down there, enjoying it with her. But Kyrie, I done been to so many different places, I can't begin to tell you. Some I remember going to Florida, going to Orlando. I have been to Denver. I've been to New York. I done been out of the country. So you name it, I done touched a little bit everywhere.
Okay. Did you go out of the country when you were younger as well?
17. That was the first time I went out of country.
Where did you go?
I went to Mexico.
Mexico.
Yes.
Mexico.
She told me it was my senior trip. Like our class couldn't make their mind up. She's like, you know what? Forget them. We're going to do our own trip. And that's exactly what we did.
Where did you go?
Cancun.
Sure what was that like back then? What do you remember standing out? Because definitely the first time international travel, it will stand out more than any other international travel, I believe.
It was different. It was hectic for one. And two, coming into customs, that was a thing. Like going into Mexico, they not playing. That's one thing I remember. They definitely wasn't playing. Definitely was heavy on the security, the questions. Like there was a lot you had to go through. So they definitely are a tight knit down there. They want to know how many days you're going to be down there, why you're down there. So that's what I remember standing out the most. Okay.
And other than that, where did you go? What was it like? The food? Did you know any Spanish? You take Spanish?
So I did take Spanish, but I'm rusty. I ain't know nothing, but.
Okay. All right. It was like, ¿Qué pasa?
I know, right? I can say hola, but
like they can say everything they need to say to get your American money.
So can, and it came right up out them pockets. But
yeah, all day.
One thing I remember, it was the hospitality that stood out to me. The service, it was how they took pride in serving you. That's the one thing. Like being a teenager, like dang, like they really serve you and really make sure that you're enjoying yourself and taking that time out to ensure that hey, whatever you need, like we got you. Okay. So that's one thing that stood out to me. The quality of food. Totally different from here. The one thing was the fruit. The fruit tasted so different from what I'm used to. I'm like, oh, y'all really got this imported from somewhere, but just great. You know, just that experience. So I really appreciated that. And like I said, we stayed at an all-inclusive resort. But then now going off the resort, now we're doing like activities, going out into the community, seeing the people. Same, very welcoming. So that's one thing I really remember about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So also within that means that your mom was like, we got to get you this passport early on. When did, and I'm a person that definitely thinks that, you should have a passport as an American. You should have one.
My kids have one. I have one. Look, you got to be prepared. Like they say, you got to stay ready so you don't get ready. So
exactly. You never know.
Never know.
Never know.
Right.
So even having that passport and being able to go, so that experience and that trip, I'm sure that's something that your mom just truly also enjoys and may remember even pictures or whatever that was like.
She do. She got the picture too. I tell look, bury them pictures.
Hilarious. All right, so now as time goes on, you get into your own journey. You mentioned with your husband you're in Arkansas for a while, but do you stay in this area leading up to the connection you have with your late husband?
So originally I started out in Inkster still, born and raised there. I stayed with my grandfather until he passed away. So that'll put me like at 2018. Thank you. So about, I would say 2019, that's when I moved out to St. Clair Shore. So I was out there for a little while.
Okay.
And then once we met, that's when I moved to Detroit with him.
All right, so now I can pick the pin up. You guys meeting on Bumble. For a person that does not know, Bumble is a dating application. And I know it's a person that's older right now looking like, what are you doing? You just need to meet. I think at this point in time, it's probably more practical in a lot of ways to connect through dating applications.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lord knows I am by no means an expert when it comes to dating and what that culture is. I just follow what a lot of people say. I do know a lot of people that have met people.
Yeah.
You're a person that actually not only met someone that you fell in love with, met someone that you married. And during COVID, I think that would have been the only way that most people would have made connections, and like I say, I'm throwing it out there. It does exist.
It
you
does.
Know what I'm saying?
It was some hope out there. It was some hope.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So we can pick that up. Like I say, pen picked up. Let's rock now. So you meet through that, and then this is COVID. I don't even necessarily. It's like y'all like had to socially distance to connect the first time.
We did. So it was so funny. Our first date was like sweetest day. It was October 17th of 2020. So our first date was down at DeQuinder Cut. So that was like kind of one of his staples. So that's when we first met, had our little walk and talk. So it was cool.
It was like he was 6 feet away. It's like, hey.
Like, hey.
6 feet, no chick. Hilarious. All right. So with that, when did he introduce you to the brand?
So that's the thing. So we just, gradually just talking, getting to know each other. I'm now spending a lot of time at his home. Now it's like at one point now I'm now, pregnant, with our son. So I'm really at the house now, getting to know him and, things he's doing. And he just casually mentioned like things that he had did, his businesses. The first brand he had put out was To All My Haters With Love, Thanks for the Motivation. Okay. So that was the one. Then he spiraled off and did Give Me 313 Feet. And here comes Black, Beautiful, and Brilliant. Okay. So he kind of tied them all into that one umbrella.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So with that, now let's speak a little bit more of his background, his name, his connections. How did he even get into branding? What was, fashion? How did that come about?
So Mr. Brian Jones, a jack of all trades, my husband, he pro-Black. If I had to sum him up in one word, he was for his people. Mm-hmm. That's also entrepreneurship, wanting to stand on his own. So that's another reason why, what led him to creating his business, doing that generational wealth, wanting to create, just do for self, wanted to just be his own man. So that's kind of how that business kind of came about when he started that Black, Beautiful, and Brilliant.
So did he do stuff like this before then? Like, was he working in making fashion and brands, or where did that come from?
So he wasn't. My husband, he is a returning citizen. So, did some time he was younger, came out the ground running. He got out when he was 38. So that's when he really started just honing in and just building himself and then building his businesses.
Well, definitely shout out to a lot of the people that come home. Brothers and
Yes.
sisters that add to community is very difficult, let alone whether you've been in or been out as far as
Right.
like the opportunities that we have here
Yes.
can be very, very limited. And if you flagged up, or better yet, if you have a felony on your record, it can be even more difficult. That's where
is.
like the movements of like ban the box and shout out to my homie Dr. Yusef Bunchy Shakur
Familiar
and
with
so
him
many
too.
other
Yeah. Respect that, brother.
people that look forward to like banning the boxes. Like just the question is, have you ever had a felony, as you know, like what opportunities will be before you?
Right.
And oftentimes entrepreneurship is one of the best opportunities because the field of work is not, you know, abundantly offering opportunities to brothers or sisters, technically, if you ain't got nothing on your record, let alone if you do have that on your record. So entrepreneurship is one of those gateways where many have pursued, and it sounds definitely as though Mr. Jones was active in making that happen.
He was, and he was also too. He had other jobs. Like he worked for law firms. He don't work for Detroit Land Bank. Like
Okay.
my husband, he was brilliant. You know, he's paralegal, so definitely just full of wisdom, knowledge, you name it. So, but ultimately, he wanted to just stand on his own and do his own thing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So in this brand, what stood out about it where you said, okay, we need to pick this legacy up? And
Yes.
first, even in that, as you said, him passing. So first, condolences on his
Thank you.
passing and blessings to, you know, so much of the grace of even just carrying forward.
Right.
As you mentioned, a son, but you moving forward in family with this as well.
Right.
You know, but what was it that spoke to you to say, I'm gonna pick this up?
So it's funny, I didn't even think to pick it up, honestly. It was one night I was sitting on my mom's couch and just going through the laptop and just in my thoughts. And the brand just came back to me. And I said, you know what? This is something that I just can't let go because I knew the work he put into this brand. I knew what he poured into it. I knew the time he spent trying to make this brand something. So that's what entailed made me like, you know what? I'm going to pick this brand back up. I said, because it can be bigger than what actually he envisioned. So that's what kind of led me to say, you know what? I'm going to do this. And also for our children, like we had a son and a daughter. So I wanted to give our children a legacy, something that they can see in real time. What does love look like? What does commitment, loyalty, all those things? Like, what does that look like to them? And I wanted them to see that in me. Yeah.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. And even in that, we've definitely had discussions about moving forward in losing family and what grief means, just period, in life. As another thing that I can't define the steps of what that process is for anyone. But I do feel as though now, the older I get, that it's something that that is a relationship that we all have, and it's a path that we all have.
Right.
Something so close, so soon, and so much, I can only imagine. What were some of those steps that you even took to move forward, especially now as you speak of daughter and son?
So for me, a large part of me moving forward, it helped me be more connected to my husband. Doing this brand, it made me feel like I can do this like he did this. It made me feel like I was so empowered, and also me finding a voice in him starting this business. So that's like something that really just kind of stuck with me there. So I would say in this tragedy, it helped kind of find my voice and what I want to do for our community, for what I want to do for our people, and especially our women, you know, because we are hurting out here. So it definitely drives me to just want to give back in just a way that people understand and know that you carry this brilliance in you. You know what I'm saying? This is something that's in your DNA, and this is something that I don't want you guys to forget. So that's kind of what pushed me to keep wanting to go forward.
And in that, as much as I'm not looking to like definitely touch on or, you know, look to relive trauma per se, but I do want to contextualize it for anyone that is watching. What was it like as far as like you even just like getting some of the pieces together? Because that's where I think it can be most heavy, because, you know, you have son, daughter. I'm sure
Yes.
you have like all his loved ones and families
I
and
do.
friends. And at times, sometimes, you know, in the passing, we can be so focused on everything else happening that we're not even necessarily stepping in, like, you know, getting at peace with it ourselves.
It's definitely something I'm still working through.
Mm.
I have to be honest with you. Grief just has a way of just changing who you are. Like you're not the same person, obviously, but me going through this and trying to get all the pieces, it was a lot. Because like you said, in my mind or how I have to balance out things now, it's me trying to become literally a parent over a single night, trying to navigate being the driving force in my son's life and my daughter's life, trying to relocate us, trying to create like some type of form of stability. So all these things are going through my mind all at once. But at the same time, it's like I want to create something that's going to last for now me and my children. Like there's something that I want us to have and say, this is our own.
Okay. And so first off, definitely prayers up and blessings to you in that journey. And certainly for your daughter and your son.
Yeah.
So through that, you reconnect with one of your friends actually here getting active now.
Yes.
What has it been like as you've seen people connect with this brand and like really see some of the vision come to life, possibly how you saw it or possibly in ways you have not?
Yeah, so it's been actually really good. I see a lot of people that actually resonate with the brand and what it stands for. See, the apparel is just the door opener to what I want this brand to become. Like, it's bigger than just the shirts that you see we wearing today. It's a movement that I'm trying to push. It's reminding our people of who they are before the world told them who they couldn't be. So that's one thing that really just sticks with people. Another part of it, like I can switch off to a different lane, being a widow, a young one at that, being able to now connect to women who are going through maybe the same thing I'm going through and trying to figure it out, which way to go, not knowing which way to go, just learning when to sit still, learning when to take time for yourself. You know, that's another way. Being a single parent, being a single mother, just really resonating and reaching like different women in their walks of life or just our people in period. You know, there are things that I feel like people have seen or that can pick up from this brand or just pick up from me just in having a conversation. Like, oh, I really rock with that. Or I can see where you're coming from. Or I can appreciate like what you're trying to do because they can see the vision. They can see what I'm trying to do and look past the apparel itself and really see the movement.
Okay. So with that, how do people connect if they're interested, if they want to be a part of it, if they want to speak with you, if they want to collaborate? What's the best way?
The best way, social media. Or I have my phone number. You can just hit me up. Email, that's another way. I keep myself open no matter what. Like I said, you can find me on Instagram. You can find me on Facebook. I'm on TikTok. So I'm a little bit everywhere where a person, if they want to connect, my line is open. My inbox is open. You just hit me up.
All right. Give Instagram. I think Instagram probably is
Instagram.
the platform that more of the Detroit is different audience is connected with.
It is. So my Instagram is Black Beautiful Brilliant with an underscore. So that's where you can find me at right now.
Okay. All right. And what are some of the things coming up? I know we have, you mentioned this will be like right there, but the Juneteenth event, but just like really give a scope of 2026 for what's happening with the brand.
Got some big things planned. So like you said, the Jubilee. I also have another event as far as Juneteenth going up to Lansing. There's another one, Easter Market. You'll see me there.
Okay.
Just recently found out I will be a part of the African World Festival, so I'm looking forward to that. I'll be right back at the Easter Market as well in July. You name it. I have a couple other events lined up for August. And I have a project that I'm working on. It's actually a calendar that I'm going to launch. It's going to be for 2027.
Okay.
Where it's going to highlight 12 women from different walks of life, whether it's a path of entrepreneurship, widowhood, single parent, artist. So I want to highlight 12 women that could be an example that can just show other women like, hey, you know, this is an everyday thing. Like we look to you guys for examples. We look to you all, you know, to just go through life and learn from.
Okay. And I'm guessing your son and daughter are they're littles.
They are
so
littles.
They're not so active with it. But in what ways have you collaborated them with this?
Look, I call my daughter Little Sugar. I will pack Sugar up in a minute and we will go to our meetings together. Wherever I have to do, if I can't get somebody to watch the kids, I'm no stranger. Like, they're going to come with me because they are a large part of Black, Beautiful, and Brilliant. If it wasn't for my husband, this wouldn't exist. So one thing about me, pack them on up. We can go together.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, with that being said, I mean, we're getting to a wrap here, but I got to hit you with the classic Detroit is Different questions first. So we start here. Your very first car, year, make, and model, year you got it.
My very first car?
Mm-hmm.
Why you doing that? My very first car was a Sundance, 1992.
Oh,
couldn't
man.
tell me nothing. What did I name her? I named her Betsy. You couldn't tell me
Betsy.
nothing about Betsy.
Okay.
Me and her with the red velvet interior.
Oh, man. Red velvet.
Yes, look, I was smooth in there, okay?
The cars with people names.
Good old Betsy.
All right.
We was rolling.
Where's the first place you went when you got it?
Oh, that's a good question. Where did I go? Probably to go pick up my cousins because
There we go.
we was heavy in them streets. You know,
Okay.
I had to drag them along with me in my adventures.
There we
So come on, girls, let's pack it up. Let's go.
Oh, man. Oh. All right. Next question. You're the DJ at the end of the fireworks. At Woodward and Jefferson, you get to play 2 songs. What songs you playing?
Why you do me like that? What songs I'm playing? I'm going to play me some Rick James.
Okay.
I'm going to play Dance With Me. I'm going to play
Okay,
Rick
that's
James.
one.
What else I'm going to play? I probably got to play, I got to do a little Beyonce. I ain't going to lie. The song, I don't know what I play. She got so many classics, man. I don't know. I got to think about that one on her. But definitely some Beyonce, though. I'll give you that.
No, you have no song.
I guess I play a little Lemonade. Let me play a little Lemonade.
All right. That definitely, you went a little new and definitely old. You definitely go back to the good Rick James.
Look, I
Dance
love
with
me some Rick James. Look.
Yes. That's the song where he'd be like, pretty little thing.
I just had that playing in the car the other day. Actually, yesterday.
He's like, girl, you looking fine.
Look,
Rick
he was
James.
sweating like he was in the shower.
He, Lord knows what types of inspiration he had.
He definitely
From
had
women
it.
to substances.
Look, he said it. He said it. Make him a drug.
Definitely, like the whole premise of "Give It to Me," and I love that song.
Look,
It's
I like
when
that song,
you listen
too.
to it, it's like, is this a song about him being too intoxicated to? It's like Rick James, good old Rick James.
Yeah.
All right, last question, because technically, usually it's another for Detroit, even though you're right there.
I'm right there.
But I still got to give you the other one. All right. Alien spaceship comes down, parks in front of your house. E.T. comes out and like, yo, take me to the most Detroit place you can take me. Where are you and E.T. about to go?
You know what? Me and E.T., we going to roll out to the aisle.
Okay. That
Belle
is the
Isle
number
my
one
spot.
That is the number one location that people say that they're kicking it with E.T.
Because, you know, it's so funny because Belle Isle, it takes me back and connect me with my husband. So Belle Isle is like a staple for me. So we going to rock out on the aisle.
Yeah. Good Belle Isle day. Sometimes all you got to do is just drive around and
That's
a
what I do.
good playlist.
That's what I do.
A good playlist.
Look, days, like they said, golden time of day.
Mm.
Just driving through, nice sunset, just driving through the aisle, just reflecting, meditating, just enjoying yourself.
Okay, it's
Yep.
like you said that and I thought of Frankie Beverly.
Another one of my staples. Yeah, I told you I could just go on and on with old school.
So listen to Frankie Beverly the other day. The live album. I don't know
Look.
what it is about summer cruising and live music, but I love it.
It just do something to you, don't
Especially
it?
that you from Frankie Beverly, the New Orleans concert. See,
Right.
there you go, specific.
See?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
This is a Detroit is Different. Peace.
Detroit, Detroit, Detroit is different. Detroit is different. Detroit is different.